start early. YouTube will start early. Anything else will start early. Facebook will not. I don't think.
Well, we're ready. And welcome back to Cabell Midland High School in Ona, West Virginia, the site of the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championships. I'm Joe Stevens alongside of Coach Eric Cooper, bringing you all the action from the State Cross Country Championships. Coach, we were getting ready for the double-A competition, but earlier this morning we had some exciting action with the single-A competition.
Yeah, I mean, that was a heck of a way to start the day. It kind of set the tone and set the energy and atmosphere of this state championship. And, you know, major congrats to individual champs Alyssa Sorrow and Patrick Riley, Alyssa being from Williamstown, Patrick being from Buffalo. And then congrats to the women's team of Williamstown and the men's team of Buffalo. Congrats to them on their state championships.
It was excellent. And earlier this week, Coach, we had forecast of temperatures in the mid-70s with clear skies, something that a lot of the runners that I was talking to, some of the coaches saying it was going to put an effect maybe on some of the results of the race. But earlier today, the rains kind of came in a little bit, cooled things off. It's been a great day for running.
We lucked out for sure. 2 days ago, it was projected to be up around 80 by mid to late afternoon, and honestly, it scared me because weird things happen whenever it gets that hot, especially end of October. And I was even talking to coaches about how they were adjusting their weeks, what they were doing to prepare for the heat. And then here we are. We get rain mid-morning during the single-A boys race. We're sitting in the 60s degrees. And, I mean, weather could not be better for racing a 5K.
And I think also the clouds in here, keeping that temperature down will definitely not hurt the outcomes at all. Coach, we're coming up on the double-A championships now. First off will be the girls at noon, and then the boys followed at 12:45. Your thoughts about the girls kicking off at noon, and what do you think?
The double-A girls race is shaping up to be phenomenal. It's you on paper you have Braxton ranked first, Winfield second, Frankfort third. But when you dig into those teams and look what they've done throughout the season and know how they historically run at the state meet, this meet's wide open. It's all going to depend on how it shakes out. They're 1 through 5, 1 through 7 runners. Anybody can take this.
And Ava Ethridge is number one right now, or for the individual side of things. I have to admit, full disclosure, I am an assistant coach with the Nitro High School cross-country team, and we've got a freshman running in the race, Cora Cozen. And if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season if she'd be running today, well, there was a flipping of the coin. But I watched this young student athlete grow as the season went along, and she realized that, she might not win the championship, but it was going to be a attainable goal to be able to run today, and she's going to be starting in that pack as an individual runner. And like I just told her a little bit ago, today is icing on the cake.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you said it. Like, just getting here to the state meet's the ultimate goal for a lot of runners competing today. You have some teams wanting to win the state championship, some individuals wanting to get all state, and be an individual state champion themselves. But the ultimate goal when you start training back in June is just to be here competing today.
And you know what? The course is in great shape. We've talked to both Patrick Riley and Alyssa Sorrow, the winners of the single A. All they could say is that they were, nothing out of the ordinary. They know the course. Most of these runners know the course, and it's just time to put it down.
There are no secrets. I think when you come into this, runners have different game plans, but weather will not be a factor today. There was a steady rain that came down for not even 10 minutes, 15 minutes during the single-A boys race that dampened things a little bit, but you don't have sitting water on the course. If you have mud, it's very little. So weather is not really playing a factor in this meet.
And it's also cross-country.
Right.
Exactly.
Everybody's prepared for it. A lot of these runners are wearing spikes, so, traction is not an issue.
Well, we see the runners kind of getting their last run-outs at the starting line here at Cabell Midland High School, the site of the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championships. We'll have that start for the girls' double-A action right after this.
For me, part-time service in the West Virginia Army National Guard looks like this. As a construction engineer, I'm moving earth, building roads, and working with a great team to accomplish our mission. My service trained me how to operate heavy construction equipment, and those skills have opened up doors to a great career here at home. See how part-time service can help you build your future. Go to nationalguard.com/WV to find out more.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
And back here at Cabell Midland High School, the site of the 2023 West Virginia Cross Country Championships. Joe Stevens along with Eric Cooper. Coach, it's going to be a throwdown here in Double-A.
Yeah, I mean, it's shaping up to be a heck of a team race, and then individually it's pretty open as well. In the team race, we have Braxton ranked first, Winfield ranked second, Frankfort ranked third. But this could shake out any number of ways. Braxton is led by Laura Kane, who anytime I've seen her run, she tends to run stronger on the hilly courses. So I think Midland suits her well. I know she does a lot of miles. Winfield is led by Ava Ethridge, and on paper she might be the favorite today, but there's a couple others that will be competing with her. Frankfort is led by both Addison Tharp and Addison Lease, and they're well coached. They're ready to step up at state meet every single year. They're going to be there competing. Individually, like I mentioned, Ava Etheridge of Winfield, she's been getting stronger and better as the season goes. Hannah Kleiner and Addison Tharp are probably the next two on paper that figure to contend with her. And I know at their regional meet, Addison Tharp led just about the whole way, and then Kleiner outkicked her. So I think the individual and team race should be competitive in this next one.
And when you're seeing a breakdown of the top three, and there's only, 17 points separating in the prospective team competition from number 1 to number 3, it's kind of like anything could go on that result. It could just where the runners finish up, it could move things around as quick as possible.
Yeah, anything can happen. State meet, weird things happen. This is the day that these runners hope to put it together. They hope that they're on their A game, and all this work they've been putting in since June, that it all pays off today. And sometimes people have the race of their lives here.
Now, right now, all the girls are at the starting line, getting the final instructions from the official for the meet, and that's Steve Caldwell, as he's getting the girls lined up and ready to start their championship run. This is the girls' Double-A championship.
So right now, these runners, they're standing on the line. Nerves are going crazy. They're just trying to control their nerves, control that anxiety. And, they've been itching to get out there on the course and just get settled in and competing. And it's funny, for the past hour and a half since the Double-A races, this place has been calm as can be while the Single-A awards are going on in the gymnasium. Meanwhile, these Double-A athletes, these girls and these guys, they've been out warming up. They've been focused and in the zone, getting ready for their race. And so now they're finally ready to take the line and get out on the course.
They've stepped back right now. The next movement you'll see is all of them stepping up to that starting line. And you're seeing this from the bird's eye view here. You'll be able to see just how these girls will line out. Now here at the state championship, they can't pick their starting blocks. They are assigned, if I'm not mistaken, and they're getting ready to go.
So when these runners start, they will go about 150 to 200 meters straight, and they're going to wrap around the baseball field. The first half mile of this course is pretty flat. So, what these runners will be trying to do over the first 400 to 600 is just, settle in, kind of get their heart rate settled down and, find their positioning. And then once they get settled in, then that race will start to unfold. Then it's time to compete.
I also try to tell our runners that first 50 meters or so, 100 meters going out to that funnel, clean air is so important. I mean, you don't need to be a ping pong ball.
Right. At these state meets, you want to stay on your feet. Like, you want to stay out of trouble. But one thing you kind of go over with the runners is, this is cross country. Contacts happen, slips happen. Like, if you fall, you can't panic. You have to get back up. And, one of the biggest mistakes runners make is they try to force and get back into it too quickly. But if you go down, the race isn't over. You have 3 miles to settle back in and catch back up a little bit at a time.
And now they're going into that first chute there. The leaders funneling, all the runners funneling in. See our camera from the lead buggy there. I see.
So the pink jersey, that is Taylor Hess of North Marion.
And she is followed closely there by Ava Ethridge.
So as this race thins out, you can see around the baseball field the runners thin out. It's not as congested as it was directly off the start. So as it does that, these athletes, they are trying to find each other. They're trying to find their own uniform because the strength in cross country is running together as a group. That pack attack mentality, that's where these teams, that's where they want to win. Your first through fifth runners are your scorers in a meet, and you want your first to fifth to be as close as possible. So as they settle out here about 400 meters in, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find their teammates.
And mark this down in your scorecard. Ava Etheridge taking the lead for the first time about 400 meters into the race as they were coming around the softball and baseball fields there. The lead four-wheeler coming now by us. Etheridge already putting some separation between her and number 2 and 3.
She's out strong for sure. It'll be interesting to see if she keeps that pedal down to keep that gap or if she kind of relaxes on the hill to save some for up top. It'll be interesting to see how she races this.
Regionals for Region 4, which is what Winfield is in, she went out, this is exactly the same pace, but the course that they ran for the regionals in Region 4 is quite flatter than here, the Huntington course, and you can see, but this was her game plan from that one also.
Yep, it's just how she runs. She's a competitor. She's out to win this. And then you can see a big group behind her.
Way back when, there was a runner by the name of Steve Prefontaine, and he had that motto of "Catch me if you can."
So she's coming up. The midway through the Banfield is the 800-meter mark. So she's coming across the half-mile point right now, and they're about to climb up a pretty big hill. This hill has 2 different sections to it and a couple steep parts. And, I think as a runner, the goal is to get up that hill without straining, without overworking, because you want to be able to get your legs back at the top because, to a lot of these runners, the race starts at the top of the hill, which is about 1,200 meters into the race. This race is not won or lost in the first 1,200. It's what you do that last 2.5 miles.
Ava Etheridge taking a look behind her, just trying to size up where the next part of the pack is, and that's a pretty big pack behind her. This is the area where you're saying there are a lot of dips and turns.
Yep. So Winfield is coached by David Bailey. They actually beat Braxton at the Midland Cross Country Festival that was on September 2nd. So early in the season, about 7 weeks ago, Winfield beat them there. So they're hoping to repeat that today. Then another team is you can't count out is Frankfort. They have Addison Lease, who's been running as their number 2 runner, but she's multiple-time All-State. Their number 1 runner is Addie Tharp, who, I talked to their coach, Woody Snowberger, this week, and he said she was adjusting to being their number 1 runner, that it was new to her. So she came into the season that she needed to learn how to race at the front a little better, and Woody said she has continued to do that week in and week out as the season has gone.
Ava continuing to put some separation between her and the pack of about a dozen or so, kind of running there, 2 in front and then another 8 to 10.
So this race is about to take off right now. They hit the top of that hill. That's about 1,200. So they'll be coming up on the mile about another minute and a half or so. And then a lot of your top runners and top teams, when they get to the top of the hill and they hit that horseshoe, you're flat for about 400 or 500 meters. They are shortening their strides. They're getting their legs under them. They're getting ready to move. And then when they come through the mile, you have a slight downhill, and a lot of runners you'll see them kind of shift gears. On video you can't see it, but within the race they are shifting gears and trying to pick up the pace.
When you get out in the lead like this, it's you and the clock and the course, of course.
It is. You're kind of at this point. Ava's doing a little self-inventory. She's kind of seeing how she's feeling. She's gauging her effort. Obviously, trying to pace herself over the full 5K distance, 3.1 miles. So she doesn't want to go too hard that first half and then not have anything over the second. And this course is a challenging second mile. You're up and down. You have some hairpin turns, which all those things are momentum killers. So it's for these runners that second mile, it's hard to find a rhythm.
Never ceases to amaze me the number of fans that are up there on the plateau. I mean, they are on there, and I think every runner uses that to push themselves even more.
Oh, it's super motivating. You have fans all over the course. The state meet is like, the cross-country festival amplified. So it's motivating. It pumps you up, kind of gives you extra energy.
And right now, from this shot, the second pack coming. Well, the top 3 that were predicted, a little bit of changing between second and third, but Ava Ethridge came across at about 6:30 was her time on that first mile there, and then followed by Addison Tharp and then Hannah Kilner.
Hannah Kleiner,
rather. Yeah, Oak Glen Kleiner. And so Mike Ashworth, the PA announcer for the state championship, also the coach of Barboursville Middle School. A good feeder for the Cabell Midland program, without a doubt.
So Ava continues to be out alone, but Addison Tharp of Frankfort is not far behind. So that'll be an interesting race to watch over this middle mile to see if that gap increases or if it decreases, what happens there. And then the question is, these are these teams' number 1 runners. So the question is, what's going on behind them, that second runner through 5th and that second through 7th, because your top 5 score. So it all matters where your 1 through 5 come in. An ultimate goal for a lot of teams is to get that 1 to 5 split as low as you can. I think a benchmark for a high school team is your goal is always that minute mark. It's hard to reach, but the closer you get to that 1 to 5 split to the minute, the better your team's going to be, and that's how you have success in cross country.
And when you're out there as a runner and you're not running in a pack with your other teammates, you can only basically worry about yourself and hope that your teammates are following close behind.
Well, and I think that's something that's special about cross country is you create a bond through training, through that week-to-week, day-to-day grind. You create a bond where when you line up, you have each other's backs. And the great teams, that's what separates them, is they compete together, they train together, they buy into that team culture, that team atmosphere, and that's what separates the championship teams from the ones in the middle of the pack.
Again, your leader for the AA Girls State Championship competition that is they're on the course right now here at Cabell Midland High School. is Ava Ethridge, a sophomore at Winfield High School. Ava following close behind the lead four-wheeler there.
So the middle section of this course is tough. This is when fatigue starts to set in. Your legs are feeling heavy. But the thing is, everybody feels that. Ava's making it look super easy and super smooth right now. But she's tired. But she's trained herself that she's able to manage that and push through that discomfort and fatigue to where, she doesn't want to slow down. She wants to keep the pedal down. She wants to keep pushing. She wants to keep that gap between her and second place.
She doesn't want to have to respond to any challenge. She wants to put that challenge away and be able to, I don't want to use the term cruise lightly, but to be able to stay her pace and run her race all the way through.
Right. She wants to keep that gap because what would happen is if she lets that gap decrease a little bit, if second starts to gain on her, then all of a sudden it gives second a little bit of motivation. It kind of gives them a little bit of confidence, and she wants to keep that gap open to where they don't come on her.
People forget about this hill right here, that backside hill.
It's a sneaky hill. It's not steep, but it's a little longer. It's gradual. It's at a tough point in the race. It's when you're tired and you don't want to, you don't want to find that extra gear right now. Like you're still a mile and a quarter, a little over that from the finish. So, it's just at a tough point. But, that hill provides an opportunity for people because if you're able to work that hill on the backside when a lot of other people are not able to or don't want to, it's a huge advantage. This sport, I think we overlook and don't fully appreciate just how much the mental aspect plays a part, even more so than the physical aspect.
Any runner will tell you it's not about the miles sometimes. It's about how you feel during those miles.
So Ava continues to lead. She's coming across the gravel path, and what they will do is they will go back into that first horseshoe and run part of it backwards, and then she'll come through the 2-mile mark. So she's got about another minute and a half before she takes the long downhill towards the starting line field.
She's right now at about the coming up onto the 11:30 mark here in the race.
So far, she has just gone for it from the start, and there has been no let up, no sign of weakness from her.
She looked behind one time, and then right now it's been nothing but look ahead and for the next challenge.
And for anybody that's been, ever since she showed up at Winfield High School, she's been competing at a high level. So anybody that's watched her, this is no surprise. And again, the question is, what's going on for behind them? How are the 2 through 5, 2 through 7 runners shaken up? Because in a field that of this size, I haven't seen an exact number, but I'm going to guess we're in the 70s. Every spot will count. So when you come into that finish line and you're trying to outkick runners or hold off runners, every spot will count in this race.
Should be coming up on that 2-mile mark here. She ran the first mile in 6:30. We're coming up on 12:45 here, so that 2-mile mark shouldn't be that far out for her.
So for a runner, this is a nice part of the course because the course loops back on itself. So as she comes up on the 2-mile mark, she's able to look right across and see who's coming. She's able to gauge her distance right now, and there you can see second and third about to make the loop back towards the 2-mile mark. So Ava was able to gauge her distance right now.
So no changes from the 1 mile.
No, the top
results.
3 seem pretty well separated with Ava out front by a decent gap. And so now they start the downhill back towards the starting line. They'll run a short little uphill. They have a little loop around the pond. But this is a good chance to kind of recover and get your legs back because it's, like I mentioned, it's a grueling second mile. You do not feel good coming out of it, but that downhill gives you a chance to get your legs back a little bit. And then when you hit the band field and the starting line field, you're looking at 1,000 meters to go.
Other girls coming up on that 2-mile mark right now. Ava Ethridge, your leader, has captured that already, and now she is making her way. That downhill is going to be coming up here real soon.
Yeah, she's already ran part
Yeah.
of it. She's about to run the loop around the pond, and then she's got another downhill towards the band field. And she's looking super smooth. She's looking in control. And right now, as fatigue sets in, you start to focus on your form. You want to make sure you're keeping it together and not losing control down the hill, because running downhill is a skill. Like, you want to be able to let loose and run fast downhill, but you don't want to get out of control to the point of you taking the chance of falling.
And running downhill will work on your legs just as much as going uphill. People will think, well, I can just coast downhill. You're working on those quads.
It's definitely a skill. Runners they have strengths in different aspects. So some runners might be more of a hilly or a strength runner. Some runners do well in fast courses. But when it comes down to cross country, you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. You got to be able to run uphill, downhill, run flat. The flat section's fast. You got to be able to do it all.
Ava continues, I think, to extend her lead here in the girls AA state championship cross country meet. We're at Cabell Midland High School in Ona, West Virginia. Joe Stevens along with Eric Cooper bringing you all of the action courtesy of Video Productions.
So just to get to this level, to get to the state meet, is a huge testament to the work they put in, that day-to-day commitment, that discipline. And these girls out here racing, they're just tough. There's no other way to put it. They're laying it on the line for themselves, for their teammates. And, everybody has different goals. But these ladies are tough, and they're competing hard today.
And here we can, from the top of the press box now, we can, without the assistance of the camera, we can visually see the leader, and that being Ava Ethridge of Winfield, a sophomore, and more years of running ahead here in the high school competition in West Virginia. And she will be coming into sight for us here. Just the four-wheeler kind of got out there ahead of her. And
so she's got just over 800 meters to go at this point, and it looks like she probably has about 200 meters-ish on the second and third place runners. So Ava's still out by herself, and she's still pushing herself. And, at this point of the race, she's reminding herself, don't settle, don't fall asleep. She's trying to pick points, whether it's a turn, whether it's like one of the fence posts around the softball or baseball field. She's picking points and trying to surge to that, to keep her giving herself something to work for, to where she doesn't settle, she doesn't fall back, because she wants to keep this lead.
She probably just got a bunch of cheering from maybe her male counterparts on the Winfield team. She just went by the Winfield team tent. She is the defending champion of this race, taking it as a freshman last year. And so she knows what it feels like to take the winner ribbon at the finish line. Folks getting set up at the finish line for the girls to come in. And now she's got about 600 meters to go right now, coming on that backside there. And we'll be seeing her coming out onto the track here relatively soon. She has a lead that if for second place to catch her now would be just something would have to happen to the leader.
Yeah, and that just goes back to, she's just making sure she stays in control, just focusing on her form. Keeping her arm swing, natural, neutral, and by her side. She's just wanting to stay strong through the finish, and then she's going to find a next gear when she gets onto the track. And then we will have to pay attention to what's going on in the team races past that. A lot of these runners, their goal is to finish all state, top 10, get on the podium. And if you haven't been to Cabell Midland to see an awards ceremony, it's truly something special that they put on here. So it's a major goal for these runners, and it's not something that they just thought of 2 weeks ago. This is something that they've been training for since June 1st, even before that, going back to track season, going back to last winter. This is what they've been working for, this day right here.
We'll be seeing her coming out onto the track right now momentarily. Ava Ethridge, the defending champion of the girls AA competition.
So when they come on the track here at Cabell Midland, they just have 200 meters to the finish. So she is in the home stretch here.
And she has got Shot to break 20 here.
Hannah
Ava
Kleiner,
Ethridge.
Hannah Kleiner in second place from Oak Glen.
And she is cruising. Here comes Ava Ethridge now. She's coming down the front straightaway. She's about 100 meters away, maybe a little less. You're looking at the 2023 Class AA Girls Cross Country Champion, Ava Ethridge, a sophomore from Winfield High School.
And that was super impressive. She ran strong start to finish. And Hannah Kleiner, coming in second place, has put together an incredible race herself. It looks like she had closed a little bit over that second half, but Ava had just built up too big of a lead for her to get too close. And third, this is Addie Tharp of Frankfort. She has had an incredible season, getting better and stronger as the season has gone.
She looks so strong right now finishing up.
Fourth, that looks to be Julia of Liberty Harrison, who is only a freshman. And then fifth looks like Laura Kane from Braxton. So we'll see how these runners come in. Top 10 is a big goal for a lot of these runners.
That gets them on the podium and qualifies them, makes them all state. The runners coming in now.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Emily Vianney coming in at fourth place from Grafton.
Great finish there for her.
Laura Kane, fifth from Braxton. Kaylee Hammond from East Fairmont coming in here in sixth.
From Hoover.
There's Frankfort's number 2 runner in. They are the first team with 2 in. So we'll see how the rest of this race shakes out.
We've got the runners coming in now, finishing up the girls AA competition. Ava Ethridge, if you weren't with us just a few minutes ago, has finished first, defending her championship in the girls AA competition. The big question is now, how will the team competition all shake out? And we're looking at Frankfort, Winfield, and Braxton probably finishing 1, 2, 3. A lot of girls really finishing up strong now here in the Class AA action. All of them have been training hard since about August, and a lot of them train year-round and do their utmost best when they get here to the state championships. Some of them have got here individually that their whole team did not qualify, but they finished in the top 10 in their region and were able to take it home and bring it to the states and be able to compete with the other student athletes from across the state in their division, in the AA division in this case. You can hear some of the announcements. You can hear the fans in the background just cheering all the girls on as they come down the stretch here. You get out on the track, you know you got about 200 meters to go. And they're all finishing up now, finishing up strong. Big question again, who will win the team title? Because Ava Ethridge has won the individual title. Her defending champion from last year, coming in under 20 minutes. Also second place, Hannah Kleiner, was under 20 minutes, everything unofficial. Cora Kozin from Nitro, finishing up as a freshman. All the girls coming in now in the Class AA competition. And Coach Cooper has gone down to trackside to gather up our girls' winner, being Ava Ethridge, and bringing her up here for an interview to the press box. And we'll try to have that interview for you right after this.
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right.
Recover.
Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
No plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Hello, my name is Dave Casebolt, and I'm proud to be the mayor of Nitro. The city is made up of local businesses that have been the strength of our community for decades. Family businesses are the lifeblood of any small city. Those businesses provide a sense of city pride. Here you will find antique and niche shop and great family-owned restaurants. For outdoor lovers, there's Riding Our Lake that suits everyone's needs, from hiking and biking to fishing and running. We hope to see you soon.
N-I-T-R-O, go Nitro!
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
And we're live back here at Cabell Midland High School, the site of the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championship. We just concluded the girls' single-way competition. Joe Stevens along with Coach Eric Cooper, and the winner of the girls' double-A state championship for the second year in a row, Ava Ethridge of Winfield High School. Ava, congratulations. You know, I always wonder why they ask runners or anybody who wins how you feel, but how do you feel?
I'm feeling good. Really happy, honestly. A little tired, but mostly happy.
Talk about your race for you. I mean, did you go into it anything different from last year? I saw you in the regions, and what I was telling Coach Cooper is what I saw in your regional race was you went out and tried to set the tone of the race. What was your plan for today?
So definitely I tried to be – last year I was more on the defensive side. I stayed in third, and then once we got to mile 2, I took control. But this race I tried to go offensive. I tried to control the entire race, and I feel like it worked out.
So Coach talks about winning and losing this race on that 1 to 2 mile mark.
Yes.
Did you have that in your mind here today?
Yes, absolutely. I am 100% in believing like the 2 mile is like where the race is completely set down, and that's where I try to run the fastest.
Coach?
Yeah. I mean, you look super impressive, super strong out there, and how you controlled that race was awesome. So congrats to winning.
Thank you
I mean,
so much.
winning as a freshman, winning as a sophomore. Do you have any plans postseason?
I'm going to I'm going to Foot Locker. I'm going to a couple off-season races. Hopefully trying to like PR and stuff. I'm hoping to break 18, so.
Cool. Awesome. Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, talking to Coach Bailey through the season, he said that he just puts you out there and run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, running for somebody like Coach Bailey, who's been doing this for a couple days or two, or a couple seasons as it may be, and putting that team together like this, it's got to be, it puts some fun into it too, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Running for Coach Bailey, it feels I don't have to worry about the coaching. He knows exactly what to do, and I just follow line.
Now, Coach, we saw some T-shirts, and I want to hear the story about these T-shirts that they wore. Maybe they wore them the day too, but at the regions last week, I saw these T-shirts being broken out by the team, and on the back was Coach Bailey and the other coach.
Lester's heads, yeah.
Yeah, the heads were on the back of there.
So our seniors who graduated last year, as freshmen, they did that, and they always wore their shirts around. We were always like, huh, that's interesting. So this year we decided to show it back up and do a big reveal at regionals.
How you feel?
I feel great.
There you go. Ava Ethridge, your 2023 Class AA Girls State Champion here, and just an incredible performance. And again, back-to-back wins for her. Congratulations, and maybe we'll see you next year too, huh?
I hope so. Thank you.
Track coming up.
It is. I'm excited.
There you go. We'll be back right after this.
For me,
Thank you, Ava.
For me, part-time service in the West Virginia Army National Guard looks like this. As a construction engineer, I'm moving earth, building roads, and working with a great team to accomplish our mission. My service trained me how to operate heavy construction equipment, and those skills have opened up doors to a great career here at home. See how part-time service can help you build your future. Go to nationalguard.com/WV to find out more.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
It starts with dedication, taking skill to artistry. It's not just a job, it's a career. But building a future isn't easy. The Jumpstart Savings Program is here to help. The first of its kind in the nation, it features state tax advantages and other incentives. Now you can save for certain certifications, equipment, and business startup costs. Trade professionals are the future of West Virginia's workforce. Start saving for that future now. Learn more at wvjumpstart.com.
West Virginia's Smart 529 College Savings Plan includes smart features like tax benefits and flexible investment options. That's so smart. Start smart at smart529.com or by calling 866-574-3542 today. To learn about the plan's investment objectives, risks, and costs, read the official statement available.
And we're live here at Cabell Midland High School. Joe Stevens along with Coach Eric Cooper. And Coop, I tell you what, it kind of exciting. Nothing official other than the winner, and that being Ava Ethridge. But I tell you what, that team score is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, we have not seen results yet, but just by watching how those runners came in, it is a super close, tight team race. So we don't know how that unfolded yet, but we hope to find out within the next 5-10 minutes. Hopefully we know, but team race looks super close. All aside from the individual race, Ava Ethridge ran a super impressive race, and just talking to her, her plan was to control it from the beginning. And we talked about in the middle of the race how she didn't want to let that gap decrease to give any runners any type of hope, and that was her plan. She didn't want to let it be a close race, and she looked great through the finish and was rewarded with her second state championship in 2 years as a high school runner.
Well, right now, one of the delays in the team race, they're missing the scoring of one girl that they're trying to find out if she's still out on the course.
Good job.
Ava Ethridge is leaving the press box now, and I tell you what, I wish I could look that good just without running a 5K in under 20 minutes.
She looked smooth. You could tell she was in control, and I think what people see the success today, but what they don't see is the hundreds, the thousands of miles that are put in, spring, summer, fall, all leading up to this. You don't look that strong on race day. You don't come out here and win the state championship in cross country without putting in hours and hours of training and kind of living the lifestyle, being committed to your craft, being dedicated to what you do. There is no secret to success in this sport. There's no shortcuts, and obviously the work paid off for her.
And I know Ava's parents, and they are very supportive, but they also allow the coaches to work with her, and it's a partnership. They help with her with the food and everything, where they let Coach Bailey, you're the coach. If you got it.
Right, and that's not always the case these days,
No.
unfortunately. But, Coach David Bailey's been around a long time. He's had a ton of success there at Winfield, and he knows what he's doing. Year in, year out, Winfield is competing for a state title in both cross country and track.
Okay, we're about 10 minutes away now from the Class AA boys competition, and this one is probably the most, right now, on paper is the easiest team prediction to come down for this for all the competition.
Yeah, you always have to run the race because anything can happen on any given day. But as far as ranking goes and what this Winfield boys team has done over the course of the season, they are going to be incredibly tough to beat. They have 5 runners ranked in the top 8 in the state. Their 5th runner is running around 16:20, 16:30 or better. They're going to be incredibly tough to overcome, but you run the race to see what happens. But where this team race gets super interesting is that second spot. So at the state championship, the top 2 teams get on the podium. And like I mentioned in that last race, if you have not been to an award ceremony at Cabell Midland High School, it's something like you've never seen before. So that's an ultimate goal for a lot of these teams. So everybody wants to get a podium spot. So that second spot is huge. Like obviously, teams want to be the state champion, but the second goal to that is to be on the podium, get top 2. And who we have competing for that is the next 2 on the paper are Elkins and Frankfort. And they are incredibly close on paper. Frankfort took an earlier meeting from them this season at the Bearcat Invitational pretty handily, but Elkins has continued to get better throughout the season. Elkins has a super young team. They have no freshmen in their lineup, and oftentimes they are led by Josh Bodkins. They are coached by Scott Biola, who's doing a great job there. Previously, he was at Jefferson when Jefferson had their state championship teams with Brandon Dowdy and the Graff brothers. So he's bringing a culture to that team when Elkins is up there. Frankfort, who's been at the top of the list the last handful of years, they've created that championship culture. Coach Woody Snowberger does a phenomenal job there. So that battle for the second spot is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, also, then you're looking at teams 4 and 5, Fairmont Senior and Nitro. They could affect that second and third team scoring just by maybe clipping off a few spots and moving some people down and just creating some havoc within the scoring. And both Fairmont Senior and Nitro have raced a couple times this year, Nitro defeating Fairmont Senior the 2 times that they have raced head-to-head. So it's going to be interesting how it all shapes up not only from Winfield, who Winfield pitched a shutout in the regions, in Region 4.
Perfect score, 1-5.
1-5. In fact, they had their top 7 runners came in the top 10. So, I mean, Winfield is extremely strong. We know that. But to see how Elkins and Fairmont, and Frankfort rather, will shake out, it's just going to be interesting what Fairmont Senior and Nitro might do to shake up that scoring a little bit.
Yeah, and you hear it all the time. Every place matters. And in this race for that second spot, that's going to play out, because if you look at the rankings, if you look at the predictions, Elkins and Frankfort are separated by 1 or 2 points, whatever you're looking at. So this race will come down to – it's going to come down to a finishing kick for just a couple runners. Who holds off who outkicks who. That's how that team race is going to be decided. The question is, what can Winfield do? Is it entirely possible for them to do a perfect score 1-5? Yeah, I would say it's possible. But we have some other top-level runners in the field that I think will break that up. One of them is Ryan Hughes from Frankfort, who, he's had some top runners as leaders the past couple years at Frankfort who are now running at the college level. So this is Ryan's first year as being the number 1 runner for Frankfort. And I think he has continued to grow into that role as the season has gone. And then on paper, you have Nathaniel Stuck of East Fairmont, Landon Jones of Fairmont Senior, Josh Bodkins of Elkins. You have other runners that hope to break up that Winfield pack.
And you probably most likely see that, but it's going to be shaken out pretty well. And earlier in the regional race there, it was when Winfield took the 1 through 5. All 5 of them were at the finish line, already turned around, waiting for the other 2 runners coming in. So Coach Sean Anderson there at Winfield has that brotherhood kind of atmosphere. And if you watch them, especially in the cool down, the day after the race, it's all 7 or all 10, how many lined up to start the race to make it happen.
Yeah, and you exactly said it. That's a close-knit group. The group cool down, I think that's one of the underappreciated things in this sport. I think it says a lot about a team, but the more they do together, they grow together, they kind of go through hard highs and lows together. It brings them together as a team. It makes them stronger. And Coach Sean Anderson does a tremendous job there with them. He's been there a long time. He's won multiple state championships, so he does a phenomenal job with them.
We got the competition coming up. Right now, and that is of the Class AA Boys Cross Country Championships. They're getting the final instructions from the chief starter, and that being Steve Caldwell. All the boys are lined up across the starting line. We're about 3 minutes away to the start, and the weather. You can't talk about the weather enough. What was predicted earlier in the week is not happening now, and that's to the runners' delight.
We lucked out. There's a lot of cloud cover. Temperature hasn't climbed out of the 60s yet. We've lucked out. And the course is wet. And as the day goes, you may get a couple muddy parts just from all the spikes running through. But there's the weather, the course, mud on the course, it's not going to have any effect on the results. One thing, we haven't really got into it, but Winfield is led by Braden Marshall, and if you haven't been following what he's been doing, it's incredible. I think the only thing, the only regret on this whole day is that we couldn't see a matchup between Braden Marshall of Winfield and Ty Stewart's of Hurricane, who Ty will run later this afternoon. But seeing them go head-to-head is just unbelievable. But Braden's, what he's done is, he's committed to go to NC State. He's already committed. He's going to run there. This past spring, he went to Running Lane Championships after winning the West Virginia State Championship, and he ran 8:54 for the 3,200. And he was a group of 3 West Virginians who went under the 9-minute mark, which is crazy. He has played a huge part in taking running in the West Virginia, the state of West Virginia to a whole new level. He's a big part of that. Last fall, he qualified. He went to Champ Sports, the South, what used to be Foot Locker South, but last year was Champ Sports. He finished 8th and qualified for the Champ Sports Finals in San Diego, where he went out there and finished 23rd. So he has competed at a high level, and he continues to do it. And this year, he already has multiple trips under the 15-minute barrier. He would have had an extra one, but battled a dehydration issue in Louisville. But going under 15 is not it's almost common ground to him these days. Now, will we see that today? I don't know. This is a challenging course. It's hard to run that fast, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
And he's a really, really good kid. I mean, he is a great leader on that team, and the kids follow him. In fact, that team is really so strong that in the earlier meet here this summer, he was actually out at Notre Dame for a visit, and the Winfield team still won, and without their number one. That's how strong that Winfield team is. We'll see how they do today. You got the runners on their mark right now, getting ready for the start for the boys AA championship. Here we go. And they're off.
And the AA boys championship race is underway.
My Nitro boys all in new uniforms for the race today, Coach.
Awesome. All right, as they start here, they have about 150 to 200 meters straight stretch before it starts thinning out around the baseball field. And as a runner, I think at this point, you are just trying to control your nerves. You're trying to get out and get into a good position. You do not want to waste all your energy in this first little bit. And as it thins out, we talk about the team culture, the team races. As it thins out, what these runners are trying to do is they're trying to find their teammates. They're trying to find their own jersey and run together, because the strength of a cross-country team, especially a championship cross-country team, is that pack attack mentality, being able to run together.
And here they go. Braden Marshall grabbing the lead right away, and his teammate, Justin Lipscomb, following behind in second place early on.
And these are the clear top two runners in the state for the AA boys, so this is no surprise seeing them out front. But they're not just out just to win. They're out to run fast today. They're going to get after it from the start, as you can see here. And I don't expect any type of let up from them. They're going to keep the pedal down and just see just how fast they can run on this course.
And they take each race separately, not what I did the last time out or whatever. Let's just see how fast we can go today.
Right. They're, for the state meet, they're out to make a statement. They're wanting to show just how good and strong of a team they have. So their top five, how it's typically gone this season, is you have Braden Marshall, you have Justin Lipscomb, you have Landon Brumfield, who he had previously ran at Polka, and he had ran at a high level at Polka. And then you have Trace Marshall, who's the younger brother of Braden Marshall,
who might be better in the years to come, they say.
We'll see. Braden will be hard to pass, but he, as a freshman,
Brayden
what he's doing is impressive.
Braden says that. But running for NC State, that will up the competition level, running in the ACC, and just getting him out there. And I mean, he is a scholar athlete. He is, and NC State has got a very strong student athlete coming their way.
And another runner that typically runs in our top five is Lincoln Haynes, who ran last year for Ignite Athletics. And, I know he was coached by Blake Stevens, who does a tremendous job with his runners. And this year, obviously, he's running with Coach Sean Anderson and a whole other group of boys. And you just see it just paying off for him. He adds a lot to that team. It's anytime I've gotten to watch this group run this year, they're fun to watch. So obviously, like we see Braden up front, he's kind of setting the tone. When they climb this hill's about 1,000 meters into the race, and it's tough. But luckily for these runners, is it's earlier in the race, so this hill is not deciding anything in the individual race. It's not deciding anything in the team race. However, it can if you were to overwork and not leave yourself any type of energy or leave your legs at the top. Because when they get to the top, they're trying to shorten their stride a little bit. They're trying to get their legs under them, and then that's where the race starts. When you hit that first horseshoe, when you're coming up on the mile mark, that's where the race starts here at Cabell Midland.
And if you watch Braden Marshall right now, his style from the start of the gun to crossing the finish line does not change. He's got his head down, little arm movement, a lot of drive in the legs, and he is just constant push.
Yeah, and that just comes from strength. He logs a lot of miles. He trains consistently which, that consistency, that's what pays off more than anything else in training. What are you doing week in, week out? It's easy to have a good week or 2 good weeks, but what are you doing over the course of a whole season, over the course of a whole year? Because training is cumulative. What you were doing, last fall, last winter, this spring, all that continues to add up. The longer you're consistent, the longer you continue to trade and, stay on your game, then it's going to continue to pay off. What can be a downfall is thinking of seasons being separate. Like, take a break after a track or take too long of a break, and then it's like, all right, I'll get in shape for cross. But it doesn't exactly work that way. The more you consistently work, the better you're going to be.
And you can see that also in Justin Lipscomb, who is the training partner of Braden Marshall, has been through the years at Winfield High School. And right now, both of them are just setting the pace for this boys AA championship. And you mentioned Brumfield there, Landon Brumfield, who ran for coming across real quick. Braden came across the 1 mile mark about 5:15.
Yeah, and Winfield sitting in 1:23. And that's, something to mention is Justin Lipscomb would be just about any other team's number 1 runner. And sometimes, that can be tough, kind of wanting to be that number 1, but you have somebody like Braden Marshall on your team. But that's where a successful team comes in, and that team culture, that championship culture, where that's where that plays out, where you embrace your role on your team and you be the, the best number 2 in the state.
And as a sophomore, Braden Marshall was running number 2 as a freshman, and as a sophomore running number 2 to Schemberg and Matthew Schemberg. And it was here that Schemberg had a abdominal situation happen during the race, and Marshall took first place. And since that race has basically not looked back.
Yep. So what we're not seeing on the camera right now is just how tough this course is, or the second mile is, because Braden Marshall's making this look easy and smooth and controlled right now. But this second mile, you don't have a lot of flat sections. I mean, you have some, but you have a lot of hills. You have a lot of ups and downs. You have a lot of hairpin turns. You have some momentum killers, which it makes it hard to find a rhythm. As a runner, anytime you can maintain a steady effort, steady pace, it makes running easier. Whenever you're challenged with those ups and downs and those momentum killers, that's where it gets tough. That's where that fatigue amplifies. And so Braden's making this look easy right now. But this is a tough, grueling second mile, and this is where a lot of individual races, this is where a lot of team races are decided.
If you did an overlay right now from what Braden looks like right now to, say, a mile ago, it's identical.
Yeah,
like you're saying, he's making it look easy. He's probably run this course 50 times. I know Coach Anderson brought the guys out here to just to get it back in their system and feel the course again. And that's what they're doing. It's so great to see some of the schoolmates of the runners coming out here with signs and everything too. I just noticed a couple with signs and just cheering their fellow runners on and fellow teammates and fellow schoolmates.
It's just an incredible atmosphere, and like you said, these runners know this course very well. Not only have they raced on it multiple times, but Coach Chris Parsons here at Cavill Midland, he keeps this course open to anybody that wants to come run it year-round. He encourages teams to come run it, come do workouts on it, whatever, get to know it. So teams do that to use to their advantage. I mean, why not? But obviously these Winfield runners know it super well. What we're not seeing, what we can't see right now, is what's going on behind them. What's happening with that Elkins and Frankfurt team battle? What's going on with Nitro and Pikeview and those teams? That will be interesting to watch play out as the race goes and as they come down to this last mile. So anybody that's new to cross country, your first through fifth runners are the ones who score, and your team scores are decided by those places. So lowest score wins and so on. And so you want your 1 to 5 split to be as low as possible. For me, I think that minute, having your 1 to 5 split in the 60-second range is always a benchmark, and the closer you get to it, the better. If you're under that minute, then you're going to be a tough team to beat. And so that's the focus with a lot of these teams is you want to get your fifth runner in before other teams' fifth runners. But these teams are lining up with 7 runners. And those 6th and 7th runners also play a huge role. They're known as displacers. So if a team can get their 6th and 7th runner inside of another team's 4 or 5 runner, then they're adding points to those other teams, which ultimately plays out in the final team standings.
Earlier this season, in fact, in the first race of the season at St. Mary's High School, you looked at the Winfield boys won that race, and just looking at the score, this was the first race of the season, and their top 5 averaged 15:54,
which is incredible. And yeah, I mean they made a statement out of the gate. You saw what kind of team they were, and give Coach Sean Anderson a huge amount of credit because he's kept these guys healthy. They've been racing all season, and that's a hard part about cross country is managing injuries, staying away from that that injury that makes you take time off. So it's listening to your body. Coach Sean Anderson listening to his athletes when they're fatigued. If they feel something, he's going to err on the side of caution and back them off for a few days or have them rest for a day or two because you want to be healthy as the season goes. You want to get to the starting line healthy and feeling good, and their team has done that.
Braden Marshall actually had a scare from a race down in North Carolina earlier this year as a hydration problem. He admits he did not hydrate well enough, and it was a hot day, and with 60 meters to go, he collapsed and then tried to finish, collapsed again, and there was some concern there, but was checked out, and it was a hydration scenario.
All right, so the runners are coming through the 2-mile mark. So when they come through the 2-mile, they have a pretty good downhill that gives them a little chance to recover and get their legs back after that tough second mile, and then they come up back by the starting line. And when they come down off the hill, they have about 1,200 meters left.
Clay County runner there. We were up in Clay County for a run. They right along the Elk River Trail. See some other runners coming through. A couple Nitro runners there, sporting their new uniforms. It's the first time Nitro has gotten back to the state championships since 2019.
That's awesome, and that's what this is all about. There are teams here that have aspirations of winning a team title or get on the podium, and runners that want to be all-state or individual state champion, but there are a lot of runners here, more so than not, that their ultimate goal was just to be lining up at the state meet, just to be competing in this meet, because it's a special honor, it's a special opportunity, and it's not one that's given to anybody. It's fully earned that anybody that's here competing.
There's Theo Atkinson of Nitro, Dylan Poston of Nitro. Just, you can really pick out your runners when you see them 5 days a week.
All right, so we can see the lead vehicle coming back up on the starting line. So Braden Marshall has just over 1,000 meters to go. When he's coming along the soccer field, that's the 1,000-meter mark. So running at the speed he probably only has about 3 minutes left.
Got my biggest fan watching right now, Angie.
So we'll keep.
She says you're making me look good.
So we'll keep an eye on what's going on behind Braden for those individual spots, for those team standing spots. We'll see what's going on behind him.
Braden is just, luckily we get to see him during track season too. He's just one of those special student athletes that you enjoy watching compete. He enjoys all aspects of the competition. He enjoys the camaraderie of the team. He worries about his teammates. He moves forward and just hopefully we'll have a chat with him here in a little bit. But it's fun to watch good things happen to good kids.
Absolutely, and Justin Lipscomb still sitting in second, and we're looking at from a distance here. I'm thinking that may be Ryan Hughes of Frankfurt that moved up into third, just ahead of London Brumfield. So Winfield, as it stands right now, has 3 of the top 4 spots.
So during the state track meet, when on the 1600, Justin came behind Braden in it. We brought both of them to the interview place. Let's do it again today. Let's do it again today.
So, again, Braden Marshall is leading. At this point, he's just trying to continue to push himself. But I highly doubt this state meet is his final race of the season. I'd say he plans on going.
I look over at the clock and see him 14, 18, and he's getting ready to come out on the track.
I'd say he plans on running postseason, maybe trying to qualify for a national meet. We'll find that out after. But he has competed at some high-level meets, competed on a national level. And like I said earlier in the race, he is committed to go run at NC State next year, which is just, it's incredible. One of the, a high collegiate level program. So he's coming on the track at 14:45.
He's at 14:50 right now.
Braden might catch the four-wheeler here.
And the thing with the state meet is this is the day that these runners, these teams, you've been training for months. You've had goals for months. You hope it comes together today. You do everything in your power, in your control, for it to come together. And one way or another, good or bad, it's going to be a day that you remember.
Coming down the front straightaway now, your 2023 Boys AA State Champion Braden Marshall, senior from Winfield High School.
All right, so we'll see how these next spots shake out. Justin Lipscomb of Winfield is on the track in second place.
You don't see a three-peat very often, and you just watched one. Braden Marshall winning as a 10th grader, 11th grader, and now senior in high school. Justin Lipscomb coming around.
And here comes Landon Brumfield and Ryan Hughes on the track. So there's your top four. Remember, top 5 is all state. Top 5 get on the podium. Or top 10. I apologize, not top 5. Top 10 get on the podium.
Look at Justin's form coming on down, finishing up. 16-15 unofficially. Going to be a race here for third place.
Your top 10 are on the track right now.
Landon Brumfield taking one look over his shoulder, responding to the challenge there.
So Winfield goes 1, 2, 3.
Here come the rest of the finishers now.
This is Josiah Brannon of Fairmont Senior coming here in 5th, followed by Landon Jones of Fairmont Senior, and then there's another Winfield, Trace Marshall. And then there's your 5th Winfield coming in right now. So Winfield's top 5 are in.
Lincoln Haynes. So you pretty much can signal the fact that Winfield has won the team championship unofficially, but 5 runners looking in at least in the top 15, at least 3, maybe 4 in the top 10. Got more runners coming in, finishing up. Again, congratulations to Braden Marshall, a senior from Winfield High School, and a three-peat winner of the State Cross Country Championship, Class AA. More runners coming in now. Runners coming in for some more runners coming in, finishing up the boys Class AA competition. Everybody finishing up. Everybody finishing up strong here in the boys AA competition. Again, your winner, Braden Marshall of Winfield High School. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right.
Recover.
Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
No plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Hello, my name is Dave Casebolt, and I'm proud to be the mayor of Nitro. The city is made up of local businesses that have been the strength of our community for decades. Family businesses are the lifeblood of any small city. Those businesses provide a sense of city pride. Here you will find antique and niche shop and great family-owned restaurants. For outdoor lovers, there's Riding Our Lake that suits everyone's needs, from hiking and biking to fishing and running. We hope to see you soon.
N-I-T-R-O, go Nitro!
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
And welcome back here to the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championships. Joe Stevens with you, bringing all the action along with Coach Eric Cooper. Coach Cooper down and getting the winner of the State AA Boys Championship, that winner being Braden Marshall. He may be also be bringing up the second place finisher, and that was Justin Lipscomb, Marshall's teammate for Winfield High School. Winfield taking 1, 2, 3, and maybe ninth. Third place went to Landon Brumfield, and then unofficially Trace Marshall, Braden's younger brother, believe came in top 10, and then following Trace in at least the top 15, maybe top dozen, was Lincoln Haynes of Winfield. So easily the winning team of Winfield High School taking the boys championship. We're still waiting for the results from the girls championship scoring in the Class AA. Again, things winding down for the boys AA championship. Braden being interviewed right now by other TV stations down on the field, and Coach Cooper is rounding him up and will be bringing him up as soon as possible. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll try to be bringing the winners up here as soon as possible.
Plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Wouldn't it be nice to start your day with a homemade breakfast and a freshly ground whole bean roasted cup of coffee? Well, at Tudor's Biscuit World, every day starts with freshly cracked eggs, sizzling bacon and sausage, and you can't forget the mouth-watering made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, hot from the oven. Whether it's our famous sausage gravy or your favorite breakfast sandwich, morning always tastes better at Tudor's. Looks great, tastes better. Tudor's Biscuit World.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
incredible honor to be able to come here and compete each and every year, and to have been able to stay healthy and compete to the best of my ability. And each and every year that I'm able to come away with a state championship is awesome. But to be able to come here as well with my team and be able to qualify and compete with them it's the best blessing in the world.
Coach?
Yeah, I mean, you took control from the beginning, ran a super impressive race, and on paper you're the clear-cut favorite, but you still got to show up and race and do your part and take care of business. What was your goal today?
Coming in, the top goal each and every year is just to walk away with that team state championship. The team title kind of trumps it all, and they're the guys that you train with each and every day, and it just makes it really special to be here with them. But on the individual side of things, I made sure to set a really ambitious goal for myself and try and go for the sub 15. And probably about around the 2 mile when people started calling out times, I knew that it was a little bit out of reach just based on what I'd run up to that point. And at that point, finishing the race just was kind of more important, but I still made sure to push the pace and compete to the best of my ability. So, coming, I think I was right around 15:30, and that's a great time on this course, and I'm just pleased with it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back 3 years. Your first time you won to now your third time winning this year. What's the biggest difference do you think that's in Braden Marshall?
Well, I would say on the day itself, if you had asked me 3 years ago if there was any chance of me winning the state championship, I would have said no. But just kind of, I think the biggest difference in myself, of course, is being 3 years older, having 3 more years of training under my belt, and I'm feeling just a lot more fit. I know that 15:30 today felt a lot easier than I think I was around 16:25. I think the thing that has changed the most is just my mindset. I've learned to just kind of just have confidence in the work that I've done, know that I've done the best I can to prepare myself for the day of, and to walk into a race and be on the line with your teammates and just know that you guys have done everything you can and that whatever happens, happens. It's a really comforting feeling, and it lets you just walk into a race calm and collected.
Spoke to Coach Anderson a few weeks ago, and he could not stop talking about the brotherhood of this team, the togetherness of this team. Yeah, you still got to run against that clock, but running together like that, how important is that to push to a team victory?
It's more important than you can describe. Being able to build that relationship up with your teammates and just know that you guys are going to do everything within your power to place well for the people around you, not for yourself. That is what cross country is about. And we've been so blessed this year, my younger brother being on the team, as well as Lincoln Haynes, who was homeschooled before coming to public school, and Landon Brumfield, who transferred. They've just fit so well into the family that we have at Winfield. And I know I can look at every single person on our team on any given day, and I can just tell that they are doing everything in their power, not for themselves. Everyone likes to run fast for themselves and get that PR, but for the brothers that they have around them.
Final question. I was talking to Coach about this during the broadcast. Your number 4 today was your little brother, Trace. There's word out there that he's catching up to you.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's just a rumor. I'd say it's a fact, and I know he's running incredible. He's training hard, but at the same time not doing too much. And I think that I'll brag on myself. I feel like he is a good person leading him, showing him the ropes. But I think that everyone can be confident with him and Lincoln Haynes and Ben Cobb, Brody Miller, who were also in our top 7 today, that Winfield's still going to be a team to watch out for in the future.
Congratulations, young man. You are a fine example of what a student athlete needs to be in representing West Virginia. And can't wait to see you in track season. I know Coach was talking about what you might be doing here in the national side of things, but you want to be running for NC State and putting that WV in your mind, but not on your chest. But congratulations.
Thank you so much. Go Pack.
There we go. Your AA boys champion here at the West Virginia State Cross Country Championship, Braden Marshall of Winfield High School. We'll be back with some final thoughts on the AA competition right after this.
For me, part-time service in the West Virginia Army National Guard looks like this. As a construction engineer, I'm moving earth, building roads, and working with a great team to accomplish our mission. My service trained me how to operate heavy construction equipment, and those skills have opened up doors to a great career here at home. See how part-time service can help you build your future. Go to nationalguard.com/WV to find out more.
Farmers and Mechanics Insurance knows West Virginia, and we understand how much all of our high school teams and athletes mean to the communities that we have served for more than 100 years. That's why we're proud of our partnership with the West Virginia SSAC. Their commitment to teach and promote sportsmanship and citizenship is the key to future success. Protecting what matters most to you. Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, a proud partner of the West Virginia SSAC.
It starts with dedication, taking skill to artistry. It's not just a job, it's a career. But building a future isn't easy. The Jumpstart Savings Program is here to help. The first of its kind in the nation, it features state tax advantages and other incentives. Now you can save for certain certifications, equipment, and business startup costs. Trade professionals are the future of West Virginia's workforce. Start saving for that future now. Learn more at wvjumpstart.com.
West Virginia's Smart 529 College Savings Plan includes smart features like tax benefits and flexible investment options. That's so smart. Start smart at smart529.com or by calling 866-574-3542 today. To learn about the plan's investment objectives, risks, and costs, read the official statement available.
One time they need you in the scoring tent. Winfield, 22 points in a state championship.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6.
Frankfurt got second.
Yeah.
It wasn't close. I kind of thought that's how it would go.
It went just the way that Josh said, Nitro 5th.
Doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right.
Recover.
Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
No plan? No problem. Just wing it, and we'll do the rest. Plump and juicy? You got it. Fried to perfection? Always. Sauced and tossed, or naked if you prefer. It's always your choice at Geno's. Whether it's a 6 or 10 piece of our famous original wings, or our tasty traditional wings, or a 10-ounce portion of our tender boneless wings, we'll leave your mouth watering for more. We promise we won't wing it, but you should. Geno's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Just wing it.
Hello, my name is Dave Casebolt, and I'm proud to be the mayor of Nitro. The city is made up of local businesses that have been the strength of our community for decades. Family businesses are the lifeblood of any small city. Those businesses provide a sense of city pride. Here you will find antique and niche shop and great family-owned restaurants. For outdoor lovers, there's Riding Our Lake that suits everyone's needs, from hiking and biking to fishing and running. We hope to see you soon.
N-I-T-R-O, go Nitro!
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card. a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
Back here at Cabell Midland High School in Ona, West Virginia, the site of the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championships. We've got the official results now for the championship for the boys AA, and clearly easy. We were able to let you know who the team winners were, as Winfield Runners coach came in first, second, third, sixth, and 10th. So they had 5 runners on the podium for the championship. And then for individually, the official time for the winner, Braden Marshall, was 15:29.62. Overall, Winfield came in what was expected of them, and they succeeded.
They did. That's what we thought would happen, and that's what did happen. They ran a super impressive team race. They put all 5 on the All-State podium in the top 10, which is super impressive. Braden ran he controlled that race from start to finish. And, I know ultimately he wanted to go under 15 minutes today, but Cabell Midland is not an easy course to do that on top of it being a little wet. That was just going to be a tall task today. But, he ran a super impressive race, and his teammates followed him up. And then Frankfort came up and grabbed that second spot. Earlier in the race, we talked about that the battle for that second podium spot between Frankfort and Elkins. And Frankfort, ran a good team race like they always do, led by Ryan Hughes, and they snuck up for that second spot. So Winfield boys and Frankfort boys get up on the podium. As far as the girls' race goes, we do not know team scores at this point. We don't know anything official. But Ava Ethridge was the individual champion, running a super impressive race. And so that wraps up the AA boys and girls races. And then they will have their awards ceremony here shortly before we have the AAA races this afternoon at 3 and 3:45.
Just got some information from the scoring tent in the girls' team competition. Braxton did win it. Winfield was third, and Frankfort was second.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what we thought, but we didn't want to say anything without knowing officially. But Braxton put together a sneaky team race. Laura Kane, I think, was in the 5th position, so she led their team. But, their pack, their 1 to 5, ran a good race. They raced together, and they pulled out the win. And then Frankfort moving up to that second spot. And, I know that was a goal for them because on paper I believe they were third. So, shout out to Woody Snowberger and getting both Frankfort boys and girls teams on the podium, because that's the ultimate goal for a lot of teams, getting on that podium here at Cabell Midland. Because like I've mentioned, if you have not seen an award ceremony here, it's just it's unbelievable. It's something to witness. It's something that's motivating for all teams and athletes. So it's a special day for those teams to get up and do that.
So there you have it. We have now the first 2 classes in the books, Class A, Class AA, for the 2023 West Virginia State Cross Country Championships. Just recapping the AA competition, the winner of the AA girls was Ava Ethridge of Winfield. The team championship going to Braxton County and followed by Frankfort High School. Then in the boys competition, winning it was Braden Marshall for the 3rd straight year. Ava Ethridge, his teammate, won it for the 2nd straight year on the girls' side. Braden now 3 times a winner. And for the boys competition with an impressive 22 points at a state championship. The boys of Winfield win the state championship for cross country. Thinking back now to the single A, Elisa Sorrow was the individual winner. And for Williamstown, and the Williamstown girls also won the team championships. And on the boys' side, we had
Patrick
Riley from Buffalo winning, and then the Buffalo boys also winning the state championship.
Yep.
So we have it right now. We're going to take a break. Coming up in
one thing I was going to mention is, we just had 2 Winfield athletes, Braden and Ava, come up, and it's super impressive to me just how humble and well-spoken all these athletes, all these runners are. If you notice the ones, finishing at the top individually and team, their team, they have a team-first attitude, team-first mindset. Individual, happens after that. And so it's super impressive, and it's fun to watch how they speak about the team, how they speak about the sport, and just how they carry themselves. It's impressive to watch.
And it's a trickle-down effect, because they are 2 leaders on the team, and the rest of the team follows suit. And I think the guidance of the coaches that they have across the state, the coaches across the state, are just exemplify and really push that team spirit. Again, we've got the single A and double A competition in the books. Coming up will be the triple A competition. We'll be back for the start of that in the start is at 2 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
So we'll be back on at 2:45.
2:45. We'll be returning. For Eric Cooper, I'm Joe Stevens, and we'll see you at 2:45.